My name is Manan Sharma. I am the CEO and founder of Rebrand Gurus. We are a full-blown digital creative agency, and we have an employee strength of about 93 people all across the globe. And this is basically the next episode of something called as RBG Talks. This is a podcast that we do with the CEOs and founders and senior management of the other companies, and like to understand how they've gone through their journey, their legacy, so that the young budding entrepreneurs can actually learn from or understand, or if they want to open up their own shop, what is it that is required to do. So I'll hand it over to you, Eldar, if you can just quickly introduce yourself, and then we can take the journey through.
So my name is Dr. Eldar Baigabatov. I usually go by Dr. Eldar because most of the people can't pronounce my last name. I wasn't born in this country. I came from Kazakhstan, one of the former Soviet Union republics. I had no English. First I went to England to do pre-med, right? I actually tried to get into medical school, and I had to compete against kids from India, Pakistan, Malaysia, China, and people who grew up in British colonies speaking English and in the British system. So in England, you had to have all A's, when you do your pre-meds and your math and stats and whatnot. And I got B's and C's I had only 1 month of preparation in English before I left my home country, right? Wow. So that's how my journey began. So throughout the years, I went to Caribbean, I went to back to United States and whatnot. First time I came to United States was 2000. So that's when I did my pre-med and medical school, part of my medical school in Grenada, in the Caribbean, right? West Indies. And then came to United States, did another 2 years of clinical rotations, 3 years of internal medicine residency, 3 years of emergency room, and then I came to Florida. In Florida, and I've done everything from hospital, inpatient, outpatient, house to house, urgent cares, you name it, emergency rooms. And everywhere you go, it's the same thing. We diagnose you with high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, strokes, heart attacks, and whatnot, and give you drugs for that. That's the nature of conventional medicine. I ran into somebody, I got frustrated with insurances because insurances, depending on what insurance you have, your Cigna, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, doesn't matter. They tell you what formulary and what drugs you're allowed and not allowed, who you're allowed to see, what kind of tests you can have and whatnot. So I got frustrated, and I ran into somebody who was looking for a doctor that does Botox, right? It's an aesthetic procedure that's cash-based. And it's like, wait a second, that's cash-based? You don't have to do insurance? It's like, wow, that's great. So I tried to apply, but she was looking only for somebody who was born in the United States, who went to Ivy League medical school, which have nothing to do with the aesthetics anyway, right?
Yeah.
Harvard and whatever, it doesn't matter, right? So I said, screw you, I'm gonna open up my own place, right? Nice. So I started learning, taking courses on Botox and fillers and chemical pills and all the aesthetic procedures, and I opened up my own medical spa on the side, right? So that was back in 2011, and we existed for more than a decade now. Right. So it's obviously 18% of business died in the first year, and now that the 50% in the 5 year, and I'm like past 10-year mark. So we're doing okay. And we've grown about more than 500% since the inception of the business.
Congratulations. It's a great story. And you know what? The world has become such a small place because I was not born in here in the United States myself. I came to this country in 2002, and I was not as learned as you when I came in first. I basically came here with $200 in my pocket, and I started working as a debt collector. And the funny story is that I started in West Palm Beach. The first place it was in West Palm Beach. I did it for about good 4, 5, 6 years before I kind of did my international business management from SMU Dallas.
You were like a Rocky Balboa going collecting the debt, right?
Well, the story, yeah. So, but great story. I think it's fantastic. How far are you from Valrico?
From where?
From Valrico.
What's Valrico? Where is Valrico?
It's supposed to be close to one of my very premier clients and mentors is in Valrico, Florida. I think it's it's close to Fort Lauderdale, I think, or something like that.
Okay, well, Fort Lauderdale, yeah, it's quite a distance. It's about 2-3 hour drive then.
Cool.
And Miami is about 3 hour drive. Fort Lauderdale was about 2 hour drive or so.
Cool. Let's quickly start this, okay? Let's start the.
Sure.
This is not going to be a question answer boring session. We're going to be doing a little bit of. Okay, so what? And I know the little bit of story, but what inspired to start on your own? Was it just the cash, or what's the story?
I mean, when the lady said, like, listen, you can't do this. Yeah, I only have to have Ivy League people, because she was dealing with executives and this and that, right? Bosses. And it's like, no, I can't have this people from foreign people. I was like, no big deal. I'm just going to, and now I have my own executives. I have my own people. I have my own bosses and business owners and whatnot. But originally, when I was still in an emergency room in Brooklyn, New York, I had an accountant who was doing my taxes. And he brought this book to me. So it's Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, right?
Yes.
So they explained that in that book that you have to don't quit your day job, but look for opportunities, use your own brain to look for opportunities to make passive income where you don't have to work for money. So my business, I'm trying to get out of working in the business to working on the business, right?
Right.
So that's the whole deal. But so far, I haven't been able to find somebody to replace me.
Good, good. What's the most unexpected thing that happened to you while you were just started this own shop of yours? Like, what's that you can kind of quickly recall and say, hey, this probably was the most unexpected event or incident that happened while you were just bringing this thing up?
Well, first of all, we've survived so long. We've grown more than 500% since then. We moved 3 times already. Actually, we're moving 4th time now, right? My wife used to work for me, but there's a lot of things that happen. It's so many things. So this is like having to grow so much, having to survive. And like when we first opened up the doors, like how are we gonna get the people in, right? So I had to go on the Groupon and sells out for the cheapest. We had a device that's called cavitation that helps you using ultrasonic waves to break out fat, right? So that's what we did, and I was basically, my wife and I worked together. My wife is an internal medicine physician as well. And I was doing from front desk to the back desk and collecting money and doing blood draws and buttocks and fillers. And she was doing cavitation, all day long. That's how we worked.
That's really hard work, right? All the way, working right from the scratch.
The entrepreneurship is like that. Like when you open up your business, you have no money. Like you said, you had $200 in your pocket. Like we had basically credit cards and this and that. But actually, what happened was we tried to get SBA loan at a time for location that we found, right? And they like the concept. They only give SBA loans to people who have franchises, right? It's like, well, we kind of like your concept. I went to the business incubator in Florida, in Orlando, and they helped me put a business plan together. That was crazy. There's like a thick book and this and that, and
Yes.
put all those things. And then at the end, the landlord's attorney and the bank's attorney, they agree on terms who's going to get what in case something breaks up.
Yeah.
The deal broke out, and we had to basically, it's like, oh, screw it, we're just going to rent it. And I built out the place myself, right?
Nice.
I built cabanas, I built the separation rooms. It was an open floor plan, and that's what we had to do. So you have to hustle.
Yeah, well, you know what? I lived on payday loans, just to let you know. When I came in, I was, you remember those good old days where payday loans were a trend, and while collecting on payday loans, I was surviving on payday loans for first couple of years, actually. So right. I did that. If you have to go back in time, and if you have to give a suggestion to let's say upcoming entrepreneur, give me that one-liner, that catalyst that's needed for somebody to start their own business.
So I would say, like, first of all, don't quit your day job, right? Save some money, start something on the side, build it up until it's ready to go on its own, right?
Yeah.
Second, I would say spend some time, work for somebody who's already doing that business. Like I was looking for somebody to work as a Botox injector or whatnot. That would have been great, because then I would have seen like, okay, this is how things are done. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel and do it on my own, try to figure out on my own. I had to spend a lot of money on consultants and, education classes and American Academy of Aesthetic Medicine courses and certificates or whatnot. So, and then I had to figure out how to put it together myself. If you had somebody who was like a mentor, would take you along. It's like, this is how it's done, right? Just make it better. Go open up your own place and make it better. That would be my best advice.
I think the second advice that you've given is a fantastic advice. Not that the first one is not good. First one is also like, going bootstrap and cleaning your house, making sure that you have enough money to put the food on the table. But I think the second advice is fantastic, guys. Very clearly, it's very important to have a mentor. It's very important to have somebody who can take you through the journey, hold your hand and walk you through before you start running. So great advice, doctor. They're very, very.
I'll give you one example, right? I'm a part of American Academy of Cosmetic Surgery. I'm an internal medicine physician, and I do liposuctions, right? But I had to take courses here and there. I tried to learn. The surgeons go through a fellowship, so they get they train for a year or two on, after they finish in the regular surgery or whatnot. They go in and specifically work on cosmetic surgery, liposuctions, facelifts, and boob replacement, whatnot. Well, my colleague, one of the internal medicine physician, she's in Fort Myers, I think, and she worked with a plastic surgeon who taught her on
Mhm.
site how to do this stuff. So I'm very jealous, like she had that opportunity and I didn't.
Well, I think that's again, I think it's very, very important to not only just make money, but keep learning, like you said, doing small little courses. It's very important, especially in your field. I think the studies, they don't stop. You just have to keep
No, 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 no.
just have to keep working.
Especially in medicine, it never stops. So most of us, in conventional medicine, we do our medical school, we do our residency, and then we have CMEs, continuing medical education, but it's big pharma based, right?
Yeah,
So the new drug comes in, or you have to remember this would change a few laws, how we do how approach cardiovascular issues, how we approach gastrointestinal issues,
right.
and then you have exams every 10 years or whatnot. So that's how it's done. But in our world, in aesthetics, cosmetics, regenerative, integrative, functional medicine, it always changes.
Yes.
So we have
Yeah.
to stay on top of these things.
Yes, yes, yes. Tell me something. Did you, when you were just coming up and you came from Kazakhstan and you were new to this country after going to London or UK, what was the funniest advice, or what was the funniest feedback that any patient or anybody else gave you that you can remember and you say, oh, you know what, those good old times, that was funny, man.
Well, I don't know about those good old times, but as a part of my practice, I do hormone replacement therapy, right? So I balance the hormones. So one couple, husband and wife, accused me of having custom a new bed because I fixed their sex hormones and they had so much sex they broke the bed.
Oh
It's like, you
boy.
cost us a new bed. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
I have to put it as a side effect. It's like, I'm not responsible for breaking
Well,
your furniture.
or probably you can use it in an USB and put down outside your clinic. If you're coming for anything, you
Yeah.
probably have to replace your bed.
I'm not responsible. So you have to
Yeah.
consent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Not
funny, man.
responsible for breaking furniture.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just thinking of how your face would have been when they were telling that thing to you. I mean,
And
unbelievable.
then laugh. I listen, I deal with men and women all the time. I get to hear so many stories. It's funny.
Yeah, no, yeah. Look, I need to ask you this, and this is something very important and serious. You've really slogged your behind to be where you're at. And I think, like you say, you have to be, on top of the game the whole time with studies and everything. And
Mm.
that brings me to something very important that has been spoken non-stop nonsense for the last 5 years. What about work-life balance, doctor? How do you manage your work-life balance? It's important for new kids and people who are upcoming, raring to go, to know what is the mantra of your work-life balance.
Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, as you grow your business, right? This is your baby. You can never stop. People assume that, oh, you're gonna be an entrepreneur, you're gonna have freedom of time, you're gonna have like make a lot of money. That's not true. It's hard work. It's 24/7, 365 days a year. So unless you pencil in a break, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go on a weekend break. I'm gonna go on a start. Like I'm taking a Friday off today. I just came to you for you guys, but I was like,
thank you.
hey, this is my Friday, right? So I'm Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm gonna 3-day weekend. We're gonna go out to St. Augustine or whatever. So like this is you have to pencil in. If you don't pencil it in, you don't schedule it, it's not gonna happen. You always find some excuse to do something else.
True. So the game plan is that you prepare well in advance, decide that I'm not going to work this day, and then you do not work no matter what. Is that what it is?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, my kids, I have 16 and 14-year-old boy and a girl, right? So they're out of school right now. My wife took she works on that sort of community clinic, so she has to ask for break in advance. So she took some days off, and so I told my girls like, listen, block me off on those days too, right? So I can spend the time with the family.
Nice, nice, very nice. I think it makes sense. It's important to have family time. It's important to have time with friends. Let me ask you this. So of course, in your business, money is not a money is not a big problem once you establish yourself. But doctor, what is the other way of achieving success or achieving happiness other than the financial freedom that you have?
Yeah, I look at it as how long the clients have been with me. I have clients that's been with me from the beginning, from back in 2011, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you obviously you have to constantly innovate yourself, you have to create new things, you have to other people lose interest. Like you're doing the same
Right.
thing over and over again. It's like what's next, right? So for me, besides financial, it's like the feedback and the consistency of how long they've been with me.
I have to tell you this, I've done so many podcasts, and when I ask this question, 95% of the successful entrepreneurs have the exact same answer. The feedback
Hmm.
from the customers and quality of work that we do, that kind of gives everybody a lot of peace, happiness, other than the financial freedom.
Yeah. I mean,
So
every day you get up, it's like, do I want to go back to work or just want to get a break? Like, so for me, I love going back to work,
true,
right? I
true.
love
You know,
working, entrepreneuring.
yeah. You know what they say, and it's a long time. I came from India. My grandfather used to say, the day uh, any Monday morning, if you do not wake up with a smile to go to office, you need to start thinking whether you're doing it right or not. So I
Yeah.
think that's what you said. Um, my next point is you came from Kazakhstan, and you built a business here. How important is the actual networking in your business? Like, how big is networking, or word of mouth, or face to face? How
Oh,
important?
it's huge. It's crucial. It's critical. Word of mouth is the main way how we grow the business, right? You can advertise, you can do this and that. You can show before and after pictures, but most of the times we don't have to ask our clients to tell other people about it. They see the difference. People like, hey, you're looking like healthier, you're looking stronger, you have more like pep in your step and this and that. And the wife's like, wait a second, like where you been? Or the husband's like to the wife, like, hey, welcome back, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they happy, they spend time and whatnot. Network is important because I like to work with other businesses. We always have connections. Somebody's going to teach you something that you don't know, right? You might be able to teach them something they don't know. It's very important. So I'm part of associations, I'm part of the groups and whatnot. So like even this entrepreneurships, like I venture in different categories because it's all growing business. It's not just medicine.
right. So okay, so the next question that comes up is, and the next talk that comes up is, um, how do you see your journey moving forward? Like you have girls, and
Mm.
you're doing well for yourself. Where do you see your journey moving in from here? Let's say 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. Because look, when you're young, relatively young, also you have, like you said, pep and step and everything. But how do you transition into that mode where you say, hey, you know what? It needs to be automated. And how do
Exactly. Yeah. So my first priority is to find my replacement for myself, right? So I have to multiply and replace myself and duplicate whatnot because I'm only have 7 to 8 hours in a day, and if I spend 45 to a half an hour to an hour on each client, well, I can only help 7 to 8 clients a day, right? So if I wanted to, and I have people waiting for me, it's like, hey, like I've been waiting for a couple of months, like when I'm gonna be able to see you, right? So if I were to have other people under me and say, listen, this is how it's done. Eventually, what I'd like to do is get away from working in the business to working on the business and grow and expand and whatnot, right? My
beautiful?
goal is to, besides that, I'd like to create educational school for other
Lovely,
healthcare providers as
lovely.
well as my clients. Because every time they come in, right, I have so much knowledge and try to explain to them how the systems work, and they look at me like a deer on the headlights, right? And every time I have to explain. So I'd like to stop repeating myself like a parrot. Like if I record it and say, listen to this stuff, try to understand. So when you come to me, it's not like first time you hear this.
Yeah, you're right.
So
Because when you repeat yourself, you start sounding like a broken record. You're right. You're absolutely right. Great. I think that's very wise thought for moving ahead. Um, uh, how important for you is the new technical trends, technology for what you're doing, not necessarily just in terms of your repertoire, or your products, or your machines, but in terms of technology, how well versed would you call yourself in terms of the technological trends?
well, it depends on if you're talking about the machines that help you with aesthetics and cosmetics or whatnot. Yes, there's some machines that trusted and well done, and I'd like to see other people try it and use it and make sure that's not because we have like lasers that cost 250, $300,000, right? It's
Yes.
like, and then they don't work, or I have to operate. Well, if I'm trying to get out of working in the business to work in on the business, right? I shouldn't be the one that's purchasing and
True.
doing the stuff, right?
True.
So I'd like to assess the necessity, how much it's going to cost me, how much I can make, how many services of this particular product I can provide, right?
Sure.
On the other hand, if you want to do marketing and education or not, AI that came out, I think it's going to be a game changer because that you can create so much content
Yeah.
faster without having to physically type in and then you have to make sure it's not plagiarized and whatever, it's not somebody else's content.
Copied and all that.
Yeah. So YouTube's Facebook, social media. Social media will give you likes and views and whatnot, but that don't necessarily bring all the clients, right?
Sure.
People will still go back to your website. And it's like, oh, what's your Google review? What's like,
Sure.
what do you offer? And then they'll still come in. You have to have 7 touches with people before they actually purchase something.
True. And that brings me to my next question. Like, have you like really ever thought that with you now creating your own legacy, you should have like a just generically like have a mobile app for your own self, for your business, which can then really expand you again technically, not necessarily to bring business. It will bring business, but have you ever thought of that, something like that?
Yeah, we have an app through a third party company. It's called Repeat MD. So we have discounts, we have memberships, we have other things where people can purchase online. So it's already done for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? You don't have to create an app. We have an app that's customized for us and branded for us, and just utilize it.
Awesome. How do you stay ahead of your competitors or your market space?
I look for root source of the problem, how to fix it, right? Because I have people coming in, I have so many clients coming in and say like, oh, I've tried this, or I've tried that. So I was like, I go research and try to implement and invent and stay ahead of time of other people. Because other people just lead. I mean, I follow. I'm the leader, right? I create, I innovate, I put together, I try something out and say, you know what, this isn't that. I have Brazilians that come because Brazilians love aesthetics and cosmetics and looking good and hormones and whatnot, right? We call pellets, they call sheepies, right?
Yes.
They've done this in Brazil for a long time. The plastic surgery is well known, right?
Yes.
So they come and say, well, we do it that way, we do it that way, right? So I actually traveled to Brazil a couple of times to learn those procedures and try to bring them back. So nobody else will do that. When I did learn to do liposuction, I had to go to Mexico, to Tijuana, Mexico, try to learn this hand-on because nobody else will teach you here. They give you a course, but they don't really let you touch the patient. You have to have a hands-on experience to be able to step on your own.
Yeah, well, until you do not know what to do, how will you let the others do that? Now, you use the word leader. How do you motivate your team, your people, you're growing, the business is growing? What's the magic sauce where you say, hey, this is how I motivate people or my team?
Well, one, I lead by example, right? So I'm a hard worker. I do this stuff and I do what I preach. I let others try to do the same. Everybody in my clinic, right, in my office, they try the services that we offer, right? So first of all, it's good for them to know how it feels. So when somebody else is asking, like, oh, what does this mean? How does that work? Like, what kind of side effects, what kind of benefits I get? They'll know ahead of time. That's one. Then we incentivize them by say, if you sell these packages, you get this much money, right? So incentivize them. We celebrate. We have any problems, we come back. We don't fire you on spot, right? We say, listen, this is what happened. Like, what happened there? Just can you explain to me? We'll work it out, right? We'll find a common language. Try to help them as much as we can.
Very nice.
And by the way, I mean, we're entrepreneurs, we're dreamers, right? We have to have an implementer to help us ground ourselves. Like, hey, slow down. Like, you have this big dream, but slow down. This is how we need to do it now, right?
Yes. Oh, yes, and yes. Yeah, absolutely. What if you had to create a slogan for your business if you don't already have it? On the spot slogan for you.
Well, for the longest, I had a slogan: "We help you get a healthy, fit, attractive, and vital." Right, for years to come. And I later added, "and have good sex."
Nice. I like that. I quite like that. Okay. If you wanted to have a mascot for your business, who would it be? What it would be, and what are the antics would it to get you that mascot?
Well, I'm from Central Asia, right? So we have a lot of Asian heritage whatnot. So dragon almost comes to me first because dragon encompasses a lot of different animals. So a lot of benefits from different animals. So that's what I would like, because we look at the root cause problem. We try to figure out what's going on. Like, we try to use conventional integrative medicine. We just bring in different things to get you healthy, fit, attractive, vital, have good sex.
Yeah, no, awesome. I come from Asia, so I know the importance of animals as mascot. We have gods as animals in India. So it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
just crazy. Just off the line, is there a UFC belt behind you, or
Yes,
is it the
it
real?
is UFC belt. It is UFC belt.
Wow, wow. So wow, man, I need to see that now. Nice.
UFC belt. This is from Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah. Is this the
Yeah,
real belt, or is
yeah,
it
it's a real belt. He
replica?
actually he signed it for me.
Wow. You've
Yeah.
met Khabib, right?
I haven't personally met Khabib. I have people that work with Khabib, right? The funny thing is, I have an Irish roommate from pre-med and medical school.
Uh-huh.
His name is Julian Dalby,
Uh-huh.
and he's a physician and a trainer of Conor McGregor.
Are you serious? Wow. That's amazing. Wow, man,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I do ringside physician on the side,
Okay.
right? So I'm the guy who sits by the ringside, and if somebody gets injured, I have to go assess and see if they can continue fighting or not, right? So
Wow.
that's my job. They can't do with that. I do it for amateurs. I have my professional card, but I still have to do like 3 sit-ins, interns, right? Until I can I'll go on my own.
Well, that's amazing. I've been thinking and planning to go to Dagestan for last 2 years. I just want
You
to see
sure about that?
well, I really am, but you know what? Because I want to see what's in the water, man. What's in the air? Like these guys, did you see the Poirier fight just about 2 days back, 3 days back?
Yeah, yeah.
Like these guys, and in fact, you look like that stout. They just don't stop coming at you, right? No matter what you do, they just keep coming
It's
back.
it's in the blood. They were
Yeah.
they had to fight off so many different countries, right?
Yes.
They live in Caucasus, like high
Yes.
mountains. It's a
True.
high altitude, like what's his name? The cyclist, Armstrong, right?
Yeah,
I think it
Neil
was.
Armstrong. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go up in the mountains, you create the blood that has more affinity for the oxygen, then all collected, and then they give it back to him when he rides in the valleys, right?
Yeah.
So that's blood doping. That's what we call. Well, they
Yeah,
don't have to blood doping. They just live in the mountains. It's like natural for them to have that kind of blood, right? So obviously the stamina, the oxygenation is
that's
going to be much better.
that's true, but still the resilience, man. It's they don't there's so much of lack of basic necessities over there, and yet you come up with what they come up with. I mean, not just Khabib.
Yeah.
Khabib is probably
Yeah.
the first guy, but I read through it, and it's
Yeah.
crazy what these guys do, what they eat, how they live, the family
Yeah.
values, the system. It's just unreal. That's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's I was looking at the hat and the belt
Yeah, yeah.
to ask
No,
them.
I have Brazilians. I have Brazilians, and I have the other fighters. I used to do freestyle wrestling, wushu, karate, jiu-jitsu, MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai. I've done all that stuff. Taekwondo, Hapkido, Sistema. So, but
Nice.
I'm too busy now being an entrepreneur
Yes,
to be able to do that. So I just,
yes.
you
So if you
help
had
them
to
out.
invite 3 fictional characters to join your business as your business team, who would they be, and like what roles would they have? I mean, it could be Khabib, it could be Connor. I mean, they could
Well,
fight it
those are not
together.
fictional. Those are real people.
Yeah, I
So the
mean, I'm just
fictional would
saying,
be,
yeah, I'm just
yeah.
saying that.
Fictional would be, I would say I have like maybe a Superwoman and Superman up front, right? Because men and women want to be like them, right? And if they have riffraff coming in or whatever, they can at least defend us, right?
Nice.
I'd like to have Jessica Rabbit as the patient care coordinator.
I like that.
About marketing, because
I like
guys
that.
will sell their soul to her, right?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that.
I'd like to have Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson as the doctors that and the people that solve the puzzles. And I'd
Yes.
like to have what's her name? Mary Poppins. Mary
Mary
Poppins
Poppins.
as nurse, manager, coordinator. But
Nice.
she's like a mom, right? She's like,
Very
she
on
will
your
take.
feet, sir. Very on your feet.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. This brings us to our last quick few rapid fire, quick full throttle questions. These are one-word questions. If you can very quickly answer them in one word. If you read books, what's your favorite business book that you read?
The Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. It actually became my daughter's bedtime story, and now she's all into that. She wants to quit.
Oh, amazing.
she wants to, she didn't want to go to high school. She just finished middle school. She doesn't want to go to high school, but I persuaded her. I was like, at least finish that. But she doesn't want to go to college. She wants to start real estate, investments, gold and silver will buy.
Wow.
Right. So she wants to retire by age of 20. And I'm like,
Ooh.
okay.
Yeah, cool. Well, these millennial kids. Who's the most influential entrepreneur that you kind of
I would say Robert Kiyosaki. That's how it started. Right.
Nice.
He's like, you go reach that, pour that. We can't make this out. How do you make it happen? So that was probably the most influential entrepreneur.
Very nice. Biggest source of inspiration for you, Doctor, like the one.
Genghis Khan.
Okay.
Genghis Khan.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Have you seen ghosts?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I haven't seen the ghost, but two of my clients that come here, they are Conjuring. You know the movie Conjuring?
Yeah. The Conjuring.
This is based on true story, though.
Really?
Yeah, this is based on true story. They actually signed the pamphlet, not a pamphlet, the excerpt from the newspaper, but they lived in the house up in the Connecticut or whatever it was up north. So that's a real thing.
And did they like did they feel something supernatural coming? Like
they felt it, they saw it. There was poltergeist.
Wow.
It's true. It's real.
Wow. Best advice that you've ever received until now from anyone?
Don't give up. Don't give up. You have to grow thick skin. You have to, Reach and Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
I love that.
You have to visualize this.
Yeah, you have to really visualize where you want to be at. You have to. I feel I always use the word that you have to compartmentalize your mind in where you want to see yourself. And I think your story is your story and my story. They are almost similar. You're just a little much more richer than I am, but that's okay. But
there's a book,
5-minute journal.
It's like a diary, 5-minute journal by Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And every night you write in your successes and what would make it better and how you this and that. So
I have a diary. It's in the other room, but I do the exact same thing. I'll probably take a picture and send it over to you. Tell me something. How do you like this? Did you like what we spoke today? Did you enjoy it? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's obviously useful for other entrepreneurs. I wish I had something like this before I started my journey, right? Because it's like you spend so much money, so much time trying to learn things and figure out on your own. But I wish you had more like mentorships and educators and somebody who's going to hold your hand.
Yeah,
that's like Rich Dad Poor Dad. He had a mentor, right? He grew up all his life.
True. Well, you know what? I think you were born in what, 1970s or 80s?
1975.
Okay, I'm 78, so yeah. So yeah, we're same generation. So look, it was an honor. It's been an honor to just have you as our guest on the podcast. I really want to thank you for coming on your off day for meeting with us and fixing this up. But I think we will continue to meet further. We will continue to connect further if you like. And I think there's much more to it. We would like to. So when I came here in New York, my mentor was the dean of New York Hospital, and I was working in his collection agency as a medical billing collections guy. I was very HIPAA compliant, and I think there is much more to it than just a podcast. But I really want to thank you for giving your time today, Doctor. You can go ahead and enjoy and help people have better sex, not the bed breaking sex, but it's been amazing. Thank you so very much. Any last words for the new kids who are coming up?
Again, my practice name is my practice name is Celebrity Medical Center. We're located in close to Orlando in Winter Garden, Florida. The website is www.celebritymedcenter.com. Right, you just go there, fill out the forms if you're ever interested. The way we work is we help you figure out what's breaking down, how will you repair, right? And we improve the balance. That's all it is to it. We have so many stresses. We have emotional, physical, chemical, electromagnetic, infectious, additives, toxin metals. And then we have hormones, nutrients, sleep, exercise, protein take, hydration, whatnot. So as we get older, we deteriorate faster. So we age faster. So, like for guys, why testosterone range is 250 to 1200.
Yes.
Well, the guy 250, guy 1200 don't feel the same way. So conventional medicine is designed, the range is designed so that thinking that 90% of people in the United States are normal. That's not true. We
True.
have choices. We can be
Yes.
healthier in it, or you don't care. And
Yeah.
insurance doesn't care until you're broken, right? So that's why it happens. Like, oh, like if you're broken, it's costing me money because you're gonna end up in a hospital with a heart attack or stroke. Then we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna intervene before that, right?
True.
So that's the deal. So that's what we do. If anybody is interested in our services, you can go to the website, fill out the forms. We do telemedicine. If you're in New York, we can do telemedicine. We'll send you to a local lab, do your blood work. We'll come back and say, okay, this is what's going on. This is what you can do about it, and then improve.
Well,
Okay.
thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure, and we hope to stay connected. And thank you very much for coming on RBG Talks. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Take care. Bye.